Hey everybody, welcome to the ZBN podcast. I'm your host, Spigel. With me today is Hextuple.
Hi.
Xiaber.
Hello.
Mr. Chris.
Hello.
And this, okay. I was hoping you guys would all do like a Smash Brothers thing to introduce yourselves, but we don't have that
you should
today.
Tell us to do that then.
Well, I figured you'd catch on because Hex did it. So
I didn't even do it on purpose. I did it, and I was like, wait, that's kind of like Kirby.
So speaking of Kirby, this is going to be a good show today.
What does that have to do with Kirby?
I don't know. It's not a
Kirby's a good show.
Okay, yeah. Oh, did you guys ever watch the Kirby like cartoon? Was that ever a thing that
Right
you guys?
back at ya.
Yeah, Kirby Right Back at Ya.
I've seen some clips.
I like Sonic X better.
I liked the theme song to that show.
Wasn't that like
I like
Kirby,
the
Kirby,
commercial
Kirby?
they did for Nightmare in Dreamland better.
Is that the one with the song?
Yeah. Nightmare
It's like Nightmare in Dreamland. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right.
Intro.
So that's right. We're doing a show. Okay, so this is this is the ZBN podcast. This is a show where we just, I don't know. The reason this is going to be a good show is because a few episodes ago, I think it was episode 15, we did kind of this special Happy New Year show where we just kind of talked about whatever for like an hour, and people liked it so much that we just decided to do another one. Honestly, I have no idea if people actually liked it or not, because I don't think we ever. This was before we actually started getting comments on our show, thanks to Hex's endeavors. By the way,
before we were people.
What was that?
This was before we were people.
Yeah. By the way, Hex, have you finished your Smashified? Are you like almost done with it?
By the time this podcast goes up, it might be done.
So go check that out, everybody. Artsy Omni's next Smashified is going to be up hopefully soon. If not already. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, go do that. Also subscribe to our channel, leave us comments, user questions. After this week, we're going to start doing user questions like every episode. So if you have questions that you'd like us to answer, go ahead and do that. We held off on doing it this week just because I didn't want to do it on this particular episode. I want to have like an actual topic.
I thought we didn't have a topic.
It doesn't matter.
This is the non-topic one, yeah.
This is the non-topic episode. Like if you've ever been on the IGN Zelda board, which is where we're all from, we have an off-topic thread there. And this is basically the podcast equivalent of that. We're just going to talk about whatever. But before we get to that, I have some very kind of actually somber news to share. Somber for me anyway. I don't know if anyone else actually cares. So for the last few months, since November, we started this website, the ZB.net. And I'll just get right to the point. Basically, yesterday we had some discussion and we decided that for now we're going to put the website project on hiatus. So basically that's it for the ZB.net for right now. We've been posting content a lot. And lately we've kind of slowed down just because of life, personal issues, stuff like that. And it's been very difficult for all of us. Yes, school, I don't know. But it's been difficult for us to kind of keep the stream going. And I felt like if I wasn't going to go in all the way, then I shouldn't just go in at all right now. And we just needed to take a break from it. So as of now, we're on hiatus. And obviously, we're still going to keep making podcasts and everything because this is something that we all really enjoy and is not particularly labor or time intensive, especially not for Xiber, who doesn't even pay attention. He's just playing video games while we podcast.
I am hearing every single thing you're saying right now.
Okay, well, good. So we're still going to do this. So keep checking back here. If you subscribe to our channel, you're not going to miss anything. But as for the ZB.net, for now, just going to take a break. And obviously, when we come back, full force, we'll be ready to get back into it again. Hex will be doing the web comic and all that stuff. And we'll have articles, and it'll be great, and it'll be glorious, and we'll have advertising revenue, hopefully. So now that is out of the way, we can go on to talk about our lives, because that's what people want to hear about. So I went to a taco place for lunch today. What have you guys done today? Anything interesting?
Started working on Smashified, which is basically that's the life for the past couple days. So yeah, nothing interesting.
And that's the only thing people care about.
Just been watching Nintendo Capri Sun and Game Grumps while I work. More like listening.
I wonder what the I actually unlike the Rayman one, I actually don't know what this Smashified is. So I'm wondering like what people's reaction are going to be to it. I wonder if it's going to be one of these ones that people are like, "Oh, that's super lame. Like, why did you do this one?" Or or if it's going to be
I've
something
dropped pretty subtle but also obvious hints. So
I know you're not doing
Isn't it Shovel Knight?
Well,
Well,
it depends.
he said that it was iconic, so I think he's smashifying his icon from IGN.
What?
He's smashifying himself.
Yeah, actually, that would be interesting. I'd watch that video. I'd watch all the videos. But I know you're not doing like you're not doing like the car from Beetle Adventure Racing, are you?
Oh, dang it! You figured it out.
No, okay. So I don't know.
What game was that? Beetle. What?
Beetle Adventure Racing for N64. See, my car is a Beetle, so I had to own that game. It's actually really good. It's a really good racing game. So
Never heard of it.
yeah, you should buy it, Chris.
No.
I just got a chicken hat.
Okay.
Are you playing games?
Are you playing? Yeah, he is. He's playing Master Orders in Smash Brothers, I think.
Yes.
So what do you? I don't know. What have you guys been doing lately? What have you been up to?
I've been stuck doing homework and work. I ended up dropping out a bunch of hours so I can, a bunch of hours from work so I could work more in school, and then I ended up dropping out of class because I forgot that there was a midterm that day, and I'd rather take 4 instead of 5 classes anyways. So yeah, that's the past week.
Do you still work at Pizza Hut?
Yeah, just once a month now.
Once a month, dang.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
like
that I
nothing.
can still be on the thing so I can continue when it gets summer.
Payroll.
But your shift is
Yeah.
like 14 hours, right?
Dang, a 14-hour shift once a month? I'd rather, I don't know.
No, it's a 2-hour
The
shift.
24-hour
and,
shift once a month.
He wants
Yeah,
a pizza
no.
at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh boy, 3 a.m.
I do, very
Would
obviously.
you rather work like a 24-hour shift like every 2 weeks or work every day like 2 hours?
depends on the day because
Or I guess it would be more than 2 hours because it'd be about 2 hours.
Mhm.
I think I would take a 24-hour shift to be able to take 13 days off in a row. That'd be fantastic. We could bring the ZB.net back.
I'd rather just do the 3 12-hour shifts like hospital people have.
Like hospital people?
Like nurses.
Yeah, like
or
my
something.
mom and sister.
Oh, a nurse. I didn't know what worked at a hospital. Okay.
What?
I don't know. Chris, what are you doing? What are you up to?
Well, today I got a haircut.
Ooh, sexy.
You needed a
Is
haircut.
it gorgeous?
My hair is nice and not as long. Oh, I sent off my passport form so I can fly to America one day and annoy you all.
Yes.
Maybe.
You know what we have to do? We have to do like we should do like a live streaming podcast at some point somehow with Chris in America because it makes it better.
I don't even know how you would do that. Like,
Well,
Okay, so
Just Twitch.
but
this podcast is a train wreck. Like, let's bring QJ over here. QJ, come here.
Oh.
Come say something to the podcast.
Uh-oh.
I made a scarf.
you made a
Made
what?
Scarf?
She
How
made
many
a scarf.
scarves have you made so far?
They're asking how many scarves you made. She can't hear you guys. You're on a.
Well, then
you're
put
in
the
my
other half
headphones.
of the headphones on her head.
It doesn't work that way. They're like together.
I thought you two were just one
You
person.
can make it happen.
She's like wrapping a scarf
You can
on my
make.
neck. I think she's.
You can put your heads together.
I think she's going to kill me right now. So if I suddenly drop out of the recording, that's what happened.
Okay,
It's green.
So it's a green scarf.
that didn't answer my question though. How
Well,
many?
So it must be poisonous.
What games are you guys playing right now?
Smash Bros.
Barely any.
Not-
Majora's Mask.
Smash Bros. So this
Chris,
happened.
So hey, oh, go ahead.
Well, I was playing Smash Bros. Just to pass the time while I was waiting for my brother to get ready so we could go to dinner one night. And I turned on Smash Bros. And played one game of 1v1 online for glory. And I fought this guy whose name was Title Grump or something like that. I believe it was Title Grump. And
Was he grumpy?
well, it was based on he had a me that looked kind of like the Game Grumps faces. Anyways, I fought him once, beat him just barely, or maybe not just barely. I don't remember. He was Captain Falcon.
You're
I was
so
Toon
modest.
Link.
You probably free stocked him.
And later that night when I got home, I was checking Twitter. It's like I found this guy who tweeted at me. He was like, "I think I fought you on 1v1," and sure enough, it was the same guy. So that happened. So that's my first. I fought a stranger online, and then he
He wasn't a stranger.
yeah he knew who I was. So
Wait, so it was someone
That's-
from
that's
Game
pretty
Grumps.
no, it was It was someone who's a fan of Game Grumps.
Oh, okay. Oh,
It was a random person that recognized Omni.
Well, just the fact that somebody actually tweeted at me after fighting me online, I thought that was cool.
Well, you're famous now, so...
One thing I saw like after the Rayman leak was like someone had made a me of you, and they had you and Sakurai like fighting.
Oh
I
yeah, that
saw
was
that.
like his face. Yeah.
Did you see that? That was really weird because I'm like, that's not Omni, that's not his me. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
that
one of
me
the-
was just not right.
like I feel kind of elitist saying this, but I'm one of the few people that has Omni as a friend on my Wii U. But it's like, I'm like, oh, so that's not him. So it was weird to look at. And I didn't think it really looked all that much like you at all. Anyway,
No, I mean
Yeah.
he I don't think he saw the me that I had on the end slate from the video, but yeah, that's like one of two people who have made a me after my likeness.
you being the other one,
No, another person.
you being
asked
one of
me
the
on
two.
Twitter, it's like, what does your me
Yeah.
look like? And it's like, you can see it on the video, and then he made me a me, but
That
with
is so
with the troll
weird.
face. Like
Oh, with the troll
with the
face?
smug face.
Oh, okay. I like it.
I actually have a similar story to the Omni thing.
Okay.
My
no,
friend
now this is all
made a
about me.
couple.
Xiber's about to go on the longest monologue he's ever done on this show.
Shut up. So my friend, she made a couple Kingdom Hearts music videos on YouTube. And at one point, she friended another person from our high school. And then I was talking to her about her music videos, and all of a sudden, the other girl goes like, "Oh my gosh, you're her! I love your videos!" And we're just like, she has like 50 likes, and you're one of them.
Wow. It's a
So
small
yeah, she
world.
was all like, "I know a famous person."
When I was in like junior high, I made like retarded videos that I put on YouTube, and like I don't know, some girl came up to me one time. She's like, "Oh, I really like your videos," and she's like, "You should make more of them." And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe." And then I stopped making videos.
So wait, Xiber, who was the famous person?
Famous, or she wasn't actually famous. It was just that she made some actually pretty good music videos, and so the one other girl just happened to see her videos before she found out that it was our friend that made them.
Ah, okay.
What a tangled.
I thought you were talking
Web of-
about the singer songwriter Xiber or Zibber.
Zibber?
Yeah,
No.
Zipper
spelled like
singer-songwriter.
Xiber, but it's pronounced Zibber. Hip hop
Is that-
artist.
I didn't know that was like a thing.
Yeah, she's Asian.
Is that where you got your name from,
No.
Zibber?
No.
Okay.
We've talked
No,
about
it's
this.
not.
You've just not
Have
been
we?
paying attention.
Well, I was playing Smash Brothers. You can't blame me.
By day
I'm playing
he's
Smash Brothers right now. I'm fully paying attention.
So basically, I just what I was doing all night was I before I went to sleep, I set up on my 3DS because I haven't done all the challenges on Smash 3DS yet. So I'm like, I'm gonna knock some of these out. So I set up a 3 computer versus 1 human match where all of us had 99 lives, and I set the human player as Sonic because I hate Sonic and I hate Sega and I hate everything about it.
Goodness gracious.
that's
Okay,
a
you can all
dislike for this video.
you can all click the dislike button now.
We have
Speaking
Sonic
of which,
hitting in the video.
I don't want to get too off topic of what my story is, but like, there's one guy who like goes through and dislikes all of our videos. Like, we always have at least one dislike on every video, and I think it's the same guy, and it's probably some guy who's still mad at Omni about the Rayman thing. Have I talked
Or
about
maybe
this
he's
theory
a
before?
Sonic
You
fan.
have.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know if you did it on a podcast, but
I probably did. I don't know what to talk about on here.
Conspiracies.
So
Maybe
anyway,
it's just me.
I did this 99 stock match, and it just finished. I started it at like probably around midnight last night, and it's like 1 o'clock as we're recording this today, and it just finished up probably about 10 minutes ago, and Jigglypuff won, so I was really proud. So
Jig's the best.
yeah, go
Because she didn't
Jigglypuff,
kill
and
herself.
that was
and
rigged
I'm not
though, right? Like you made Jigglypuff level 9, everyone else
Well,
was level
no,
1.
it was level 1. I did
rigged.
at
Wrigglypuff.
one point this morning. Yeah, those of you who don't know, I'm a Jigglypuff
Actually-
main. But I actually this morning I jumped in as Sonic at like as soon as I woke up, he still had like a few lives left. So I went ahead and I started playing a little bit, and I killed Little Mac and Charizard a couple times. So I probably gave Jigglypuff a little bit of an advantage there.
No down B for the weary. The weary. I can't speak. I'm sorry.
What are you saying,
I tried to make a joke
not
and I
saying
failed.
words.
Ignore him, he's British.
Chris?
Hey.
What have you been playing? What have you been playing lately?
Oh, right. Well, I did try and say Majora's Mask earlier, but then tangents.
Oh yeah. So here's the thing. Since the ZB.net is going on hiatus, you're not going to get your review out before that happens. So
I guess
go ahead.
not.
Why don't you just talk about your general thoughts about Majora's Mask? For those of you who don't know, Chris had never really played Majora's Mask before.
No, well, so Deg, who's been on here before, he did part 1 of the review because he's like played it before, and at one point we decided, hey, let's do a double review where we get a newbie to play the game, and that was me. But we're on a hiatus now, so I'm not doing that, I guess.
Yeah, but what about the game, Chris?
All right, I just wanted to say that. Okay, so Majora's Mask is a bloody fantastic game, and I would probably have to say it's probably one of the best games I've ever played. It's just something
so really, just like that, you go and you immediately say it's one of the best games you ever played. So, like, does that include Zelda games?
Yeah, it's like, general list of top whatever games.
Wow.
I'm just addicted to it, and it's really clever, and there's lots of different elements that come together, and it's really smart and really fun, and it has such a different tone about it, which is quite striking. But everyone knows that, and I don't know, it's just a great game. If I wrote a review,
cool.
I'd be able to put my words in better, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. That's cool though. Like it's cool to see like so many people. I mean, obviously everyone knows we love Majora's Mask on this podcast, but it's cool to see so many people who've never really played the game before getting to experience, what we've all loved for so long about the game.
It seems like the general reception of the game is like somewhat better than, like in some ways it's better than the original's release, because like it was a little bit divisive back then, but now that everybody kind of knows what it's all about, people are a lot more open to it now, I think, especially after having changed the Zelda formula around every now and then with all these new 3D games and whatnot. So I think people in general kind of like it more than they did back then.
Well, it's definitely sold more, at least.
Oh, has it?
It hasn't sold more than the original yet, but the sales numbers have yet to really come in. Like, it did sell a lot in its first day on the market. It did like 900,000 worldwide.
Yeah, that was cool to see.
That's a huge success, really, because I thought, like, my prediction was like 1.3 million lifetime. Not even going to be close to that. It's going to be higher than that.
Yeah, they were smart to do that like concurrently with the new 3DS release too, because that seems to be selling really well too, which I didn't quite expect.
What they should have done was release that and Codename Steam and Monster Hunter at the same time, because that would have guaranteed sales for Codename Steam too. Like, I feel like that's a game that's kind of been flying under the radar. Like, that's coming out in less than a week now, right? Like, it might even be out by the time the people are listening to this show. So, like, I mean, are you guys buying that game? Are you guys getting Codename Steam? Just out of curiosity.
I don't know.
I'm not buying anything for a long time.
It looks like a great game, but I kind of have a load of games, and I'm not prioritizing it.
Well, you can't really afford it right now anyway, dude. You got to come to America, and then...
Yes, I need a job and all that business.
Yeah, like, I'm not a big fan of RTS games, and I'm not a big fan of shooters. So it's like, well, two of my least favorite genres combined to make my least favorite
it's not an RTS. Just so you know, it's a
well, like a turn-based, right? It's like a turn-based strategy game.
Yeah.
Well, strategy games in general, it's not my cup of tea. So I don't know if I'll get it. Plus the commercials that I've been seeing, the ads on YouTube.
You don't like the sing-along?
I don't like
sing-along
the stupid
video
song that they put in the commercial. I don't even remember how it goes, but it's so obnoxious. It's like, what were you thinking? This is going to turn people away from the game.
I think they were just trying to like develop the idea that
it sounds like a national anthem, but for like
I think that was sort of the point.
But
like they're sort of trying to develop this style that they're gonna like carry on throughout the entire game.
So corny.
Well, yeah.
Like, is the game
it's
that
Nintendo?
Corny? Nintendo games aren't typically corny. They're whimsical. I wouldn't call them corny.
I guess. Speaking of which, speaking of new games coming out this month, we actually got our I work at a game store for everyone who doesn't know, and we got our advertising in for Mario Party 10 and Splatoon. And man, these games look really good. I'm really excited to play both of them.
Hey, did you see the new renders? Did you see the new renders for the Splatoon characters?
I haven't seen them. Did you hear about the Splatoon amiibo?
Yeah. Did they actually announce it like formally, or did they just put them up on?
Like, I think it was like GameStop South Africa or something. I don't know.
Yeah, if you go on Amazon and look at the Splatoon listing, like they have these really, really gorgeous 3D renders of all the characters, or some of the inklings. Obviously, there's not.
I'm gonna check it out right now. Keep vamping on this.
But it's like 3D, and it's like beautiful lighting, and it actually makes me feel like why should I ever do an inkling Smashified at this point, because these are just so gorgeous. I feel like I'd just be ripping off the new art. I don't know. Maybe I'll still do one. I don't know.
I dig that box art, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, the
I'm just
new
looking at the
title
box
is like
art.
3D
Yeah.
and shiny and glossy. It's like I love
These
good-
renders are
I love
these
good
renders are really
renders.
cool. I like this a lot. This is going to be a very cool
Like the
game.
little
Like even
the little pom pom on the top of the wool hat. It's like it's real. I could touch it. It's gorgeous.
I'm so concerned that like this game is going to suck. Like I want it to be good so bad, but I'm afraid it's going to suck.
Well,
Yeah.
what was the last direct where they showed off like the online with like the buying the clothes and stuff? Like
was
when I saw
January,
that,
right?
I was like, oh my god, this game is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's speaking of directs, by the way, like what's taken so long? Like we've got to have one before E3, right? Like
Maybe.
like I don't know. I feel like we've just been so nothing lately. There's just been nothing to talk about. Like the biggest news this week was Rock Band 4, and like the biggest news before that was the Rayman thing, and that wasn't even real.
Well,
like,
there was a.
Let's get
There was,
something real going.
Why Omni? Why?
That seems to be the question.
there wasn't-
today.
Why can't I say the name of this game? There was a Xenoblade Chronicles X Japan Direct this week.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
I have no idea what
Yeah.
happened.
I actually, you know what? Even though it's my most anticipated game of the year, I haven't even watched the footage. I don't know what's taken me so long to get on that, but
I'm playing a Shulk right now.
Well, if it's your most anticipated game, you should have a look, I guess.
I'm curious, Xiber. You're playing a Shulk, shirt on, shirt off.
Sadly, I forgot to take a shirt off
How can you forget that?
I don't know.
because I don't normally play a Shulk.
So I was playing as Zero Suit Samus last night because I was just playing random.
Shirt on, shirt off.
And well, it was random, so it came off. Like that's just how it started.
randomly flew off.
No, I'm like she starts like that, So I start the match, and my wife comes home from work, so I pause the game to say hi, and she's like, "What game are you playing?" Because like immediately like zooms directly in on her butt. And I'm like, "Oh, this is great." So yeah, so that was my night.
It's a new Smash Bros. Game rated M.
Yeah, it's it's E10. So anyway, yeah, Splatoon, man.
I want it.
I'm going to get it.
Sega
I can.
sucks. Splatoon looks really cool. I love Majora's Mask. You've now listened to every episode of the ZBN podcast.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Love retirement homes.
I feel like there's
I
going to
thought
be a direct
we did
sometime
away
this
with that.
month.
What's that?
That's because I haven't been on for a while.
If there's not any big announcements from PAX, they're probably going to do a direct this month.
I feel like they're going to have to do like a Splatoon specific direct just because like, and we've talked about this, like,
Well,
I still feel like we don't know so much about this game and it comes out in like 2 months.
how soon before release do they typically do those like one single game centered directs?
Mario Kart 8 came out in late May, effectively June, and they did a direct in early April. So, I mean, now would be the time-ish, so it's
About a
probably
month
just a
then.
matter of time, really. What else can we talk about in terms of games before we just like go totally off the rails here?
Oh, they were saying about the amiibos for Splatoon. I was thinking about they might do amiibos for other games, and I was thinking about Star Fox U, and I was like,
No
oh my
more
God.
amiibos.
More,
but
please.
Star Fox amiibos.
I would buy a crystal amiibo. Not gonna lie.
I'd buy Falco 10 times.
I was joking with somebody on Twitter. It was like talking about the Splatoon amiibos. Like watch them do like you can have voice chat if you scan your Inkling amiibo.
We made that joke on the Splatoon. I don't know, the last episode. I think we made that joke.
Oh, did we? Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I think we did. So I
No,
think
I'm
it's
running
pretty
out
good.
of
I
things
do
to
remember
say.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
officially washed up.
See, here's the problem with this show that we're doing right now, is that like I'm trying so hard to think of things to talk about, and that it comes around naturally, but just nothing is going on. Like this is the most dead I can remember Nintendo being since like middle of 2013, when they just had nothing for like months.
Yeah.
Like what's happening right now? Like, and not in terms of games. I just mean in terms of like
they better
news
have
and
something
just
like
interesting things to
shocking
talk
at
about.
E3.
I think
The issue right now is just that they pretty much gave everything last month with the new 3DS and such.
Yeah. one other thing. Okay, here's something actually. This is an interesting one. I was thinking about doing a minute recap for this, but I think the topic might be too big. Next Level Games might be working on a new Nintendo IP, not a new IP, but a Nintendo IP for Wii U. There was a quote that came out today from, or this is March 7th, from Dan Pratazina. I might be pronouncing that wrong. From Next Level Games, he says, after over 10 years in film and television, I'm working in a gaming pipeline for the first time at Next Level Games, helping animate in-engine cutscenes. Switching pipelines like this is a terrific brain scramble. The crew is fantastic, and it's a ton of fun being surrounded by Nintendo IP all day. It's making me want a Wii U. Is that weird? Yes, it is, but here we are. So basically, apparently since November 2014, this guy has been on the team at Next Level Games, helping develop a game for Wii U that requires in-engine cutscenes. Reportedly, a few years back, Next Level Games was working on a Metroid game for 3DS. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that was scrapped. What could this be? Could it be Metroid for Wii U?
Okay, so somebody remind me what they've worked on. Next Level.
Luigi's Mansion 2.
Luigi's Mansion, Dark Moon, Mario Strikers Charged. They did what was
Punch Out Wii.
Punch Out Wii. Did they do Mario Tennis Open too? I think for 3DS.
No, that was Camelot.
Camelot?
They're called.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys keep track of this?
Next Level Games have a good track record, so I trust them and look forward to whatever they're doing.
Yeah. And that really opens up for what Retro Studios could be doing. If, like, say Next Level Games is working on Metroid, it's like, well, what's Retro doing? That's going to be awesome, whatever that is.
Yeah, but we've talked
Donkey Kong
about
Country
several
Returns
We talked about that last
what
week, I
Retro
think.
could be working
Yes.
I'd like to see. I'd still like to see that Diddy Kong Racing reboot.
Oh yeah, that was a rumor at one
on. We
point.
need more racing games, though.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Am I the
You
only
could-
one on here who loves racing games? Like,
Well,
is it
no,
just-
but
I love
like-
racing games.
You could put that in a Mario Kart game, right? Like
Yeah,
put Diddy and as DLC in a Mario Kart game, and
Diddy
and-
Kong wasn't in Mario Kart 8 though.
Exactly. So DLC.
No, yeah, but exactly. So he's getting his own game.
Well, give him his own pack.
Give
Like-
him his own game
Why? No.
because we need it.
We don't need more adventure-y like racing games. Like those genres
do.
don't blend.
Well, Mario Kart's already sucked up like
Crash Team
F-Zero,
Racing was wonderful.
so it can suck up
Nostalgia.
Diddy Kong Racing as well.
We need a game with I don't know.
F-Zero, please.
F-Zero's not happening, Chris.
At least not
Why?
until they make.
Diddy Kong Racing is gonna have Captain.
You know what?
Falcon
You
in
know
it,
what?
though.
Actually, it'd be really cool. F-Zero with VR, like that would be intense. Like you're in the cockpit.
You know what?
That
Okay, so I didn't want to talk about this, but we
Probably
actually
fraud.
had a user question about VR. And since you brought it up, let's just go ahead and answer a user question. Okay? I'm going on to the page right now where we keep all of our questions.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Where are we? Wait,
How
where?
to feed the fish.
Oh, here we
one?
go. No. Oh my gosh, the freaking car alarm's going off outside. Just ignore that, everybody.
I can't
You
hear
can't
it.
hear it? I'm
Well,
sure.
we're on
I'm sure
Skype.
Mike
I'm
is
sure it's
picking it up.
filtering it out. Skype has this
Yeah.
amazing like processing algorithm or something that like filters out background noise like nothing.
This
I've
is the
ever seen.
most varied car alarm I've ever heard. Like it's got everything. It's doing everything, man. Okay, it stopped.
Hello.
So
I'm
the-
a car.
Okay, so the question is from Sources, I think the name is. I might be pronouncing that wrong. The question is, what are your feelings towards VR, Oculus Rift, and stuff like that? Do you think, like the new tech side of consoles and such? I don't know what that last part means, but let's just stick with the first part. What do you guys think about VR and that sort of direction?
I'm looking forward to it personally. I mean, I know it's not going to be as widespread or widely accepted as consoles are. Like, I don't think there's going to be anywhere close to a 1-to-1 ratio between consoles and VR headsets. But for people who are really interested and dedicated to games, I think it'll be really interesting to have that kind of experience. And I'm looking forward to trying it out sometime. I don't know how soon Oculus is going to become like a household brand. I don't know how expensive it would be, but I really
Being
want
that
to
it's
try it
currently
out.
thousands of dollars, I
Yeah.
wouldn't hold my breath for that anytime soon.
But I mean, Sony's working on their own headset. Maybe Microsoft is working on one. I remember reading something about a rumor.
Maybe Sony should
Yeah,
stop
they're
focusing
doing
on
something.
VR and start making games for its frickin' system.
Sony doesn't make the games really. They're just the
Well, they
publisher,
have
right?
they have dev teams. What are they
Well, that's
doing?
true.
They're
They
making
have in-house
horrible. Anyway.
But yeah, I'd
Shots
certainly
fired.
love to see VR on a Nintendo console. Personally, I mean, I don't know. Well, part of the issue is like the way you play so many Nintendo franchises. It's like more arcadey, top-down kind of things. Like you're not really in first person, and it's really geared towards a first-person experience. So, with few first-person games from Nintendo franchises, I don't know what they would do with VR, but I'm also interested in seeing what they could do with VR outside of a first-person perspective. Like, what can you do to implement VR in a way that works with third-person perspective? Like, is there something you could do with that? I don't know.
That's a good point.
We've seen Nintendo do VR before, and we know what that. I mean, obviously that was 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago, but that is what they came up with. So there you go.
But it wasn't really VR.
Well,
Like
Nintendo-
Nintendo's AR though.
Hey, this is stereoscopic. That's the extent to which it was VR. It wasn't immersive. So
I mean, did you ever play Waterworld for Virtual Boy?
yes,
'Cause that was pretty
I
immersive.
was 30 when that came out. I was at the expo. I saw the footage for Star Fox firsthand.
Okay, stop.
Wow.
So for me, I don't know if anyone else wanted to say anything, but for me, VR is something that is going to have to prove itself to me. Like the Wii U had to prove itself to me. I was out of games for a while and I was not really interested in the Wii U. And then I saw a game, specifically Pikmin 3, that like drew me back in. I think VR is going to have to be, it's going to have to be one game that I look at and say, oh yeah, like you need to have this virtual reality thing in order to enjoy this game. Yeah, like a killer app for it. And I everything I've seen so far is just like, yeah, that's kind of cool, but like, would I want to spend $1,000 on it? No. Would I want to spend even a few $100s on it? Not really. Just because it's not mainstream and there's nothing for it that.
But I thought you hate mainstream.
I know, but I'm not going to be like an early adopter of something that I'm not convinced is going to go the distance.
See,
you know
I don't think it's ever going to be something where you need it to play a game, but I feel like it adds so much to the experience in an ancillary way that it's like
That's true.
it's like
Carry on.
IMAX for a movie versus just a regular theater, but to a greater degree, something like that, where it's like you are getting a much better experience with it, but you're not missing out without it. So I think it's sort of like if you're rich, then this is how you play games. I don't know.
Kinda. It's kind of like the new 3DS with the fancy 3D tracking thing, and
They should
then someone
implement
might
that
have a 2DS.
on consoles, like head tracking on consoles.
Wouldn't that have to be
For
like on the
what?
TV?
So then you could
I don't
like
understand. What do you mean? Head tracking for what? For 3D? On
no,
consoles?
for perspective. Like you could peer around a corner if you like leaned over.
No, Kinect already does that, and it's
Yeah.
not good. And I think it was Dead Rising 3. You can do that, and it's not good
Why is that not good? Can you explain that to me?
because it like doesn't work that well.
Well, that's beyond the point. That obviously it has
Well,
to
okay.
work
I mean,
well.
yeah, you can try stuff, and yeah, all right.
Like when you're talking conceptually, you have to assume that you're doing it properly.
Yeah, like this episode of the podcast, like conceptually was a good idea, but it's turning out awful.
Yeah,
and
because we're
everyone-
not
and
doing
everyone
it
stopped
properly. I don't even know what properly.
Yeah, I
means.
get your point. Yeah.
But there's that. So I don't know if we really adequately answered that question.
No, Xiber, go. Maybe he can do it.
I don't really care much for VR because that's just not the kind of gamer I am. I'm never have enough time to be completely focused on a game. So
Well, that's
I'm usually
sad.
doing it while doing other things.
Yeah, like podcasting.
Yeah. So like I can't really have something on top of my head and doing stuff when like I have other things I need to be doing at the same time. Or also like people will be trying to communicate with me. I'm just like, oh sorry, I have this thing on my head.
What they need to do then is have some sort of interface where you can plug the Oculus into your computer as well as the console, so that in the game world you're actually given displays for your computer that you can interact with virtually while you're also experiencing the game firsthand, the game world firsthand.
Maybe they could like put a doorbell like on the side of the headset, so like someone needs to talk to you, they could just come up and like push the doorbell.
I think that's
And
called
then
tapping the shoulder.
No,
You don't
we've
think
evolved
that's
past
adequate?
that at this point. The technology is too complex.
That'd be fun though to freak people out. Just like sneak
someone
up on
taps
them
on your
and
shoulder
tap
like
them
when
on
you're
the
playing a
shoulder.
horror game or something on your VR headset. That'd be great, actually.
That's why it won't happen.
Okay, I have now become a proponent of VR.
There you go.
I'm now
It was
totally in
that
favor
easy.
of it. I need a horror game.
All we needed was doorbells,
I need Resident Evil 4 on Oculus Rift. That's all I need.
bells, and
I mean,
whistles.
I've definitely enjoyed the AR system that the 3DS has given us. You know, that thing that people played before they had games out.
Oh
for it.
yeah, for like 6 months you were just playing Face Raiders for, Oh, that was sad.
I enjoyed that kind of stuff, and I would enjoy doing that kind of thing with a portable system, just not something that much with VR.
I think a really cool thing to do with that would be like if you did like a Pokemon VR game, like that would be probably the best way to get me interested, honestly. To be able to because I agree with you what you said about the AR stuff. Like if you ever played Spirit Camera or if you played Face Raiders or anything like that, I think to be able to like walk around your house with a headset on and like see Pokemon like running around or something, kind of like how was it, Pokemon Channel? You ever play that Pokemon Channel game for GameCube? Something like that.
I guess you'd have to have a camera on the outside of the Oculus or something. That way you could actually see your house and augment.
Well, I'm not saying
visuals
specifically
onto that.
Oculus. I'm just saying like anything VR in the future. Like if you had a camera on the outside similar to the 3DS. I think that'd be actually really cool. And I'm now getting more and more behind this idea.
And it could kind of be like the Nintendo On. Remember that hoax?
No.
I
was like
think I remember that.
It was like when they announced the
Looked on
Revolution, but we didn't know what
Nintendo.
it was yet. Somebody made this fake promotional for the Nintendo On, which is something that you wear on your head, and it like scans your room to be able to create the in-game geometry for the levels and things like that. It was weird and it looked cool, but then thinking back, it was like, man, that was a really bad idea. Like that would be terrible to try to turn your bedroom into a level in the game, because everybody has a different bedroom, and some people's bedrooms are like horrifically.
Some people's
everything.
bedrooms don't
Messy.
have as many. Some people's bedrooms don't have as many Goombas as other people's bedrooms.
Yeah, so it's like-
some levels would be really hard because there's Goombas everywhere, or
Yes.
like roaches. Like I guess they'd be like roaches.
Yes, every time it scans a roach, it'll turn it into a Goomba in the game.
Oh god, I didn't know my house was this infested. That's disgusting.
And then you have to literally jump on them and get
Nintendo
points.
Nintendo Pest Control, like they call it. I don't know, Wii Pest Control.
So there's
VR,
that.
woo.
So there's your answer, sources. That's how we feel about VR. So
Yeah.
now we've answered 2 user questions in a row. So if you haven't caught them, we're going to be doing this. So leave us
What was
your
the first question?
What do you mean?
No, from last episode.
Oh,
Yeah. I think we also said that we were going to like read people's responses to a question that we asked them, but I don't want to do that. I don't feel like it right now. So
People
I
love
also
getting their
don't-
things read out.
yeah, but we already read Source's question.
You guys, I'm really having this conversation is making me really impatient for E3. Like, I'm so hungry for news right now.
Speaking of which, for E3, we're gonna try to do something a little special this year. We're like a lot of outlets have coverage of E3, and Hex says I'm crazy to want to try to do this, but I also want to kind of cover E3 a little bit myself. So keep an eye out on this channel. Like
have fun doing that on your own,
hold on,
because
hold
I'm not
on.
going to help you.
Hold on. Okay, so around E3, I want to try to do like minute recaps every day. Like try to get like the big news stories, like quick analysis out fairly quickly. Just because I think it would be interesting to I don't know. I just like this idea of having ZBTV like be the place where people come to get the
ZBTV.
fast hot news takes of E3 news.
Oh my-
That's not going to happen, though.
It will.
Like,
happen,
I feel like
though.
it'd be
Well,
more logical to do like a daily recap every day or something.
Oh, it absolutely would be more logical. It's not
We
about
can
logic
definitely
at
do
this point.
something
Well,
and edit.
We threw logic out the window the moment we started doing this particular episode of the podcast. Okay, so. But
Well,
yeah, I
E3
agree with
is
you.
not
I'm
cool.
super impatient for E3. Just give me some news. Give me something meaty to chew on.
like a trailer
so
for Star
mainstream.
Fox and/or Zelda, please.
Yes.
I'm so curious to see what Star Fox looks like, because we at least know what Zelda looks like. But Star Fox, all we saw was like really super early game footage of like slightly up-resed N64 graphics, and it was. Yeah.
Now, what they did, I saw the little tech demo. What they did was use Star Fox 64 3D assets and just
you
made
go.
a little demo thing.
Like I said, slightly up-resed N64 graphics.
Yeah.
So what are the
I guess,
odds?
sure.
What are the odds that we get? I'll give you like 1 to 2 odds that we get do a barrel roll in the eventual Star Fox trailer. Like they're going to include that in some capacity.
Oh yes, that'd be great.
So if anyone wants to place their bets, go ahead and do that.
Nintendo's social media has been doing a really good job keeping up with all the current memes.
Like, yeah, have you seen the Smash Brothers page? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's pretty
I love
good.
it.
Yeah, seriously. Speaking of Facebook pages, the segues are just coming like 100 of them a minute.
That was
we
a
also
great
have a
analogy.
Facebook page, the ZB Network. You can like it on Facebook, even though the ZB.net is going to be on hiatus. The Facebook page, the ZB Network is not. We're going to keep posting stuff on there. We post like our newest video content and just like stuff to talk about. So if you feel like liking our Facebook page, that would be great. Okay, so yeah, there you go.
We love likes and we like loves. Maybe. I don't know. Try to joke again.
Okay.
Don't do that. That's a bad idea.
Don't just joke around, Chris. This is a serious show, okay? Stop it.
Sorry.
Xiber, you still there?
Yeah,
Okay, good. Just checking in.
I'm just getting beaten up by Mega Man.
Well, that's just the best. I love being Mega Man and beating people up.
No, I'm getting beaten up by a Mega Man.
I know.
I feel like-
so I would love to be that Mega Man.
I feel like so many people don't know how to play as
They don't.
certain characters. Mega Man
Especially
being
Mega
one
Man.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have
The
to
issue
play
I'm
him
having is that the
differently.
only Mega Man I've ever played against was Nick, and so this was weird.
Yeah, Nick was really good. Nick, of course, from
Just
the
like you,
last
not
podcast that
Nick.
we did. Nick is a very good Mega Man.
Yeah, it's weird because like all of his attacks, they don't line up with the way you think about playing other characters. Like his neutral A is like a projectile attack, which is weird.
Yeah, it can
His
throw you
smash
off.
attack is a projectile, and
Yeah.
a lot of his B attacks are just like kind of random. What kind of
and
effects
kind of bad too. Like you can only really use them. Like his B attacks are almost more like his A attacks. They're just-
That's why I like being Falco, so I can
in the
reflect
sense
them.
that they're not very good, and they're not very good, but just that they're meant to kind of annoy you.
Mm.
Like
Yeah,
the leaf
plus his
shield
A
and the-
attacks kind of feel like B attacks the way they do all sorts of different random things. Like his up air is like a projectile that goes straight up. Like what
The
the heck?
tornado
Boys,
thing, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
And then his
there's a
mega upper
Shoryuken and
is
everything.
beautiful.
Oh, sorry,
I
Mega
love
Uppers,
sneaking
not
that in.
Shoryukens.
You say Shuriken?
Yes,
Shoryuken,
I meant
you mean?
Mega Upper.
Shoryuken.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
know how to pronounce. Look, I'm not into fighting games.
Mega
okay?
upper. goodness.
Shoryuken.
Like
not
at my
Shoryuken.
job, freaking people keep coming up like, "Oh, well, what do you think about the new Dragon Ball Xenoverse game?" And I'm like, "I don't freaking know. I don't play those games."
It's like it's Dragon Ball. That should have died 20 years ago.
Whoa, shots fired.
fired.
Okay, you can all press the
Chris?
dislike button now.
Chris,
if
how do you
haven't
feel
pressed-
about that? How does that make you feel, Chris?
I know I sort of bring up Dragon Ball Z a bit, but I'm not like the biggest fan ever. I used to watch it a lot when I was a kid, but then I don't now.
Based on your reaction to us like knowing nothing about Dragon Ball Z the other day, like
Yeah,
it
you were
seemed
like-
like you were it seemed like you were the biggest Dragon Ball fan in the world. Like you were like,
I was
"What?
just-
You didn't know about this?" I'm like, "I don't know,
I was-
dude. Like I don't."
I was trying to get you guys inspired or something, and I was going to say, like, watch the Piccolo inspiration video, and you were just like, what?
Yeah, like when I think Piccolo, I think like marching band, not Dragon Ball.
Who plays a Piccolo in marching band?
Well, as opposed to
Piccolo
what, like
player?
yeah.
What do you call that
No,
person?
no, you don't march with a flute, dude. A flute's too long. You can't keep your arms up on that.
No, people march with flutes.
Not in real marching bands in college. No one marched with flutes. They were all piccolos.
Yeah,
Who
because
marches
Besides,
with bands?
flutes are
piccolos,
too mellow.
piccolos are small and they shriek, so they break through all the stuff. Flutes don't really have
right.
that.
They're too mellow. Flutes don't
yeah.
really cut through the.
Trust
the
me,
air
flutes
to
can
get to
shriek
the
if you want them
audience.
to.
I'll freaking beat you with a flute and make you shriek if you keep saying stuff like this. Okay.
Wow, we got violent all of a sudden.
I'm trying to. Okay, so a couple days ago, I was talking about mean things I could say to stupid people who reply to our videos, and I sort of like this idea of me being the guy who is like really mean to
Please
people
don't.
on our. So I'm trying to like
You have to
develop
be
this
nice,
mean.
man.
No, I want to be the mean guy. I think it would be funny.
Do you
okay.
really want that to be your following? Like all of the people who laugh at people who are mean?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I don't know.
Well then,
Look, I was
know.
bullied so much when I was a kid. Okay, because I was.
so was I. So I mean, like,
Yeah, but
That doesn't
like,
mean
I,
you should be
that
mean.
doesn't
I want,
inspire
I
me
want
to
to
be
turn.
like
Okay,
them.
you know, like I want my chance. Give me a chance to be a bully.
That's really stupid.
Well, that's nice.
And there was a kid in high school that actually thought this.
don't listen to this man. He's a very angry person.
I am very angry. Hey, it's not my fault. I had to deal with people who like think I should care about Dragon Ball like every single day.
Did you
People
really?
come in.
That's
People
true
come into
about
my
every
store
day.
and they leave their hair extensions on the floor. Like that's what we're picking up at the end of the day. Like I'm not even joking. This happened. And in a couple weeks, we're gonna do a show with my boss, and we're gonna talk about the business of video games or whatever. And he's gonna tell you all these stories about crazy people who bring infested systems into the store and try to return them.
Infested.
And people who
What does that
call
mean?
us
Like there's cockroaches
like
inside them?
with bugs and roach. Yes, exactly. It's exactly what it
Jesus.
sounds like. Yeah.
This console I got is buggy. I'm gonna return it. Okay.
Hey, this console, it's got some bugs. I just wanted to return it. Like like glitch. So it's like glitching. Is it overheat? No, it's got like actual bugs in it. Because these people, what they do is they keep the boxes for the console in their garage, so the system actually doesn't get infested. What happens is they'll return the system in the box, and while the system is in the box, bugs will crawl inside, and they'll
okay.
lay their eggs and they'll infest the system. And it's like, what do they want us to do? We can't return a system that has bugs in it. That's But people get mad at us like it's our fault. Like we put bugs in their system.
I've heard worse things. My friends, their family used to own a used sporting jersey kind of store.
Okay.
And there would be guys being all like, "Hey, can I get this half off? The numbers are backwards." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, I was looking in a mirror and the numbers were backwards for some reason."
Oh man.
Wow, that's
dumb.
dumb.
That's why they make those. That's why ambulances have the word ambulance backwards, so that when you see them in the rearview mirror, which it's like never happens, you never followed by an ambulance. Like, have you ever been?
Well,
Well,
that's
everyone knows
like-
what an ambulance looks like, so
I've also never seen like an ambulance
Ever?
no, not ever. But let me start over. I've never
you're
seen an
in the safest
ambulance and
place.
thought like, oh, I can't read what that's like. If it wasn't backwards, I would never see that and think like, oh, I don't know
Right.
what that says, so I'm just gonna keep driving.
Yeah.
Like it's an ambulance. I know what it looks like.
I know what it sounds like. If they really
Exactly.
need to
Yeah.
to be past me, they should have their siren on. So I don't need to read that.
Yeah.
I guess if you're deaf though, it's not like being deaf stops you from being able to drive, or does it? I don't know.
Well, it doesn't stop you from being able to read, even if it's backwards. Like, how hard is it to read the word ambulance backwards if you're just looking in your rearview mirror? Like, I don't
Depends on the
get
people.
that.
Wow, I didn't invent.
We're probably offending like so many people right now. Like you probably just offended a bunch of deaf people. Like I just offended people who I don't know can't read or something. So I don't know.
My apologies. My sincere apologies to anyone who I have offended.
I will not apologize because I'm the mean guy. So
you big jerk.
yeah, sorry.
Jake.
Oh, hey, Chris is
Sorry,
still
not
here.
sorry.
I'm still here, don't worry.
My gosh, Rob's bending attack is very long.
Yeah, I noticed
Is-
that. It lasts a lot longer, and it has that kind of end hit that hurts a lot. I don't like it.
It was
Because it doesn't kill
was
you.
really-
It just knocks you back a lot. And so you have to spend all this time getting back onto the stage, but it never kills you. It's annoying. I hate, like, Charizard side B is kind of like that sometimes, where you feel like you're at kill damage, but
Ah.
it hits you with the side B and it doesn't quite kill you. It's like, ugh. I hate that side B.
Has anybody
Oh, gosh.
has anybody played Brawl since 4 came out?
I
No.
have.
You have?
It was a wonderful relief
What do you mean?
Relief.
What does that mean?
because that was like within a week of playing 4 and being all like, "Oh, this is nothing like Brawl. Why do people keep saying that?"
Well, you shouldn't have anticipated it being like Brawl, because it's been stated that it's not several times by several
Said
people.
that everyone keeps saying, "Oh, it's so much like Brawl." I'm sure, well, maybe compared to Melee, but it's still extremely different.
Yes, it's very different.
I'm getting so tired of the people who rip Brawl. Like, if you're a Brawl hater, just like get off my video right now.
I hate Brawl. Just kidding.
But don't dislike
Get off
it.
my video. But like,
For me,
I really like, yeah, there were some
sorry.
questionable decisions about Brawl, and like, like not everything was perfect, and Subspace Emissaries was weak, and whatever. But I still thought as a experience, like it was still really.
Well, it was definitely
good.
an experience. Like, you experienced that.
I'm not sure what to make of that statement, but okay. like it sounds like you're being sarcastic, but I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna let it slide.
He's sarcastically being sarcastic.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I think Brawl was fine. It's certainly not anything like Melee, so I understand why people who basically trained themselves
Yeah.
to become masters of that game, they had nothing to carry over to that game, so I can understand why people don't like it. But that being said,
And that's the case in every single game.
right, but
Yeah, it's a new game, so sorry.
Oh, I think it's
But
the
tripping
sensibilities that they used when designing Brawl were so different from Melee that people just didn't like it. Like, the goals were different. Melee was meant to be a more competitively viable game.
Like, I really like 64, and then you go to Melee, I'm just like, they changed it so much. It's the same exact thing.
I think 64 is like a way more enjoyable game than probably any of them in terms of just playing it with your friends.
I think that's nostalgia.
I think it is too, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think that's just kind of the way it is.
There's something about Smash 64 that has its own like special feel. I don't know what it is.
It's called
it's just I could happily play it.
I think it's the fact that when you shoot, I think it's when you shoot someone with a ray gun and you pause it at the right second, you can see their skeleton. I think it's that.
Except when it's Samus, then you see her nude.
Gross.
Even better.
But she's like all golden, like she's made of gold.
I'd hate to pause the game when my wife came in at that moment.
It's almost indiscernible from like a cooked chicken, though, so I wouldn't worry.
Do you know what the female form looks like?
That should tell you how far removed it is from the actual female form.
All right. One last story, and then we have to stop because this is too much. So I recently went on a spending spree of like random terrible old games. I got a couple Wii games.
Well, you got Klonoa, and that's not included.
Right? Thank you for ruining my story because I was going to talk about that. But anyway, I bought. This was before the ZB.net went on hiatus, but I was going to play this game called Beastly, which is based off the 2009, 2011. I don't know the movie that basically is a parody of. Is it a parody? It's the same thing as Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, the guy with the tattoos.
With high school kids. Yeah, the guy with the tattoos. So I bought that. I bought this was going to be for my bad games article, by the way. I bought Resident Evil, the Archives one, the remake of the remake of the remake, and then actually it's not even a remake; it's the same game. It's just on Wii. And then I bought Trauma Center: Second Opinion, the remake of the DS game, which is a really good game, by the way. I recommend that to people. And I also bought Klonoa, which is Hex's favorite thing. So,
I don't know about
it's
that.
your favorite game ever, right?
It's my favorite character that I want to put into Smash Brothers, yes.
So I'm looking at the box art right now, and it's just so like plain and bad. It's like, what were they thinking when they decided to release this as the box art for Klonoa? It's just like it's Klonoa and like a blue guy, and he's like holding a ring. And
yeah, the enemy designs in that game leave a lot to be desired.
It's like a blue circle. It's a freaking blue circle with eyes.
Oh, no, that's Hupo. He's Prince. He's the Prince.
Oh, okay. Prince what?
He's like your fairy kind of guy. He's like Navi, who is also a very uninspired design.
Well, yeah, it's a circle. It's
a
white circle with wings.
I think the box art reminds me of Ape Escape's box art.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah.
Everyone should play Ape Escape.
Ape Escape. Is that like Super Monkey Ball, but they're like escaping a prison or something?
No.
No?
Good guess.
I played Ape Escape for a little bit.
Well, it said Ape Escape, so they have to be escaping something. What are they escaping? The zoo? Oh, really? Okay. I guess zoo.
It's like
I guess
zoo and circus and a bunch of other
zoo
things.
would have been a more logical guess than prison, I guess. But like I said, we threw that out the window.
Apes.
Yes.
I don't know. Anyone else have anything interesting to talk about? We're still under an hour, so we can keep going. I don't know. Are people still interested? Like, this is my user question for the week. Are you guys still interested in listening to this show? Like, this has been the worst episode we've ever done.
That means it's the best, right? Because every time you say that, it's like it gets the most views.
I do feel like we get a lot of positive reactions to shows that I say are the worst ever. So
it says a lot about.
So whatever you say, the opposite happens.
Huh?
So like the opposite happens to what you say.
Yeah,
well, that's certainly about
so.
me and game predictions. That's certainly the case.
One thing I want to say is that Yoshi's Woolly World was supposed to be Q1 this year. I predicted it would get delayed, and hey, we're in March. No news of Yoshi's Woolly World, and if it doesn't come out by the 31st, that's my first prediction right of the year. So, for those of you keeping score at home, get a life. Basically, is what I want to say to you people.
It's another insult to
Mean Spigel. Yeah, chalk that one up.
Mean Spigel.
Main goal?
Mean, no. That's not good. Mean.
He's actually. You're not good.
I need a better. Oh, wow. Okay. I need a better nickname. Can you guys come up with anything?
No.
Like. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. This is another. Okay. I don't know why it reminded me of this, but Hex said we need to have catchphrases. Like everyone on the ZB network needs to have catchphrases when they start the podcast. So like I'll say I'm your host, blah blah blah, and then like I'll say here's Hex, and he'll say
Hi.
zippity doo dah or something. And I don't know. I think we all need to have something. I think he was onto something with that, like just so that people, because sometimes people have difficulty recognizing people's voices.
Well, I don't think that's.
I think
that's
Hexes
mostly
should
just
be
an issue with Josh
Trololol.
and Todd
That's true.
For some
like,
reason, I don't know why.
I don't know
'cause they
why, but
sound the same.
I know what they both sound like because I can talk to them separately and know who I'm talking to. But like when I'm watching one of their videos, it's like their voices blend together because like I'm trying to pay attention
They're
to the
the
game.
same.
Yeah, they might
I
be
was
the
like
same
that
person.
at first, but I know the difference now.
I don't know if I've ever seen Josh and Todd together on a video chat.
Really?
They
We
might be the
tried
same
one
person.
Time, remember? But
Oh, I have.
and we
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Terrible.
Yeah, so who knows?
I think I saw both of them after we saw your concert.
No, Josh wasn't there. Josh didn't come to my
Josh-
concert.
Yeah, but Josh and a bunch of other people came on afterwards.
Oh, really?
It was like an after party or something.
Oh, cool. Did you guys have fun?
Oh, is
Yeah.
that what that was?
Yeah, we fired our singer, by the way. I'm now the new lead singer of Uncle Ruckus.
Oh, go
But
for
do you still play the bass?
Yeah, I still play bass, and I'm the lead singer now. Go like my band's Facebook page, Uncle Ruckus Band on Facebook.
So demanding.
Just
the plugs
freaking
are
do
real.
it, man. Huh?
The plugs are real.
Yeah. Anything else we have to plug before we go? I don't know.
Well, I just
Rush the
destroyed
Fort. We
Captain
just mentioned
Falcon.
Josh and Todd. Go watch Rush the Fort, everybody. Rush the Fort is awesome. Quiet Giant has a series too, but I can't remember the name of his
Silent
YouTube channel
Senior
right now.
09.
Silent Senior, God.
Sorry,
Man.
jeez. Yeah, so this guy's pretty funny too. Like he does great voices. I want to have him on the show one day because I want to hear his voices on the show.
You should also listen to our podcast.
Yeah, you should listen to. Don't forget to listen to our podcast. I don't know if we're
Yes.
gonna keep doing Space Pirate Radio since we're on the hiatus. I hadn't really thought about that. But we
You
also
should
do
do
it.
it-
We also do. We do a news show.
Do it part of the video, like text in the video, edit together. It'll take forever.
Yeah, that would
That's
be
more work
irritating.
for you.
I don't want to do that.
Or
Um,
whatever.
No, it'd be me. But we also have the Minish recap, which you can listen to if you like news. If you don't like news, just listen to this show. This is like nothing at this point.
What you should do actually with Space Pirate Radio is have your computer transcribe what you say while you're listening to the music, and then put that text in the video. That way you don't have
That wouldn't
to
be
write it.
that wouldn't be
And it
good
would
though
also
because
be terribly transcribed, and it would get all sorts of words wrong, and it would be great.
no, because you know what it would be. It would be like, I really like this. This is cool. Like, oh, this reminds me of Christmas. Like I'm better. Like I'm like Chris when Chris couldn't describe his feelings on Majora's Mask earlier. I'm better when
Yeah.
I'm writing stuff out and I can like
Yes.
actually describe it. Like I can't even believe people listen to this show for my dumb opinions. I don't even know if people pay attention when I talk anymore because nothing I say is ever coherent.
Are you talking about in real
Well,
life?
I must
at
not
this
listen
point?
to most of the video then.
What?
To which one?
Never mind. Mine wasn't
Just
important.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Hey guys,
what?
this is the
You know
worst podcast ever.
This
Hey,
is the worst
Chris,
podcast
Chris,
ever.
Wait, I was
I blame Chris.
I was
Oh,
about to
man.
say you haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Try it one more time, Chris. Hey, Chris, are you excited for E3 this year?
Well, I don't know about me, but are you going to ask Captain Falcon that question?
Captain Falcon, are you excited for E3 this year?
Yes!
Do you think there's going to be a new F-Zero game announced at this year's E3?
Oh
I didn't know it had that. Oh,
There's a lot
man.
of sound clips on this thing.
What else do we have? What else? Play us out. Play us out with sound clips. Hey, thanks everybody for listening to the show. I'm Spigel, your host. With me today, Hex, Xiaber, Mr. Chris. Thanks everybody for doing this show. Thank you for listening. If you're still listening, Captain Falcon, take it away over the outro music.
no! Show me your moves! Falcon kick! Yes! No! Oh no! Whoops!
Give me a sick beat. Give me a sick beat.
I don't think I've ever heard him say whoops.
Punch!
Whoops.
What was that? That was a horrible punch.
Punch!
Okay, that's enough of that.
I think I'm having an aneurysm.